Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Healthy for the Holidays series. We were supposed to start last week, but as many of you saw on my Facebook post, I went down last week with an illness really, really badly, and I actually wasn't able to get out of bed for days. So I'm finally back. If I do cough, forgive me. It sounds worse than it is. I am on the mend, and I'm really excited to be here with you all for the Healthy for the Holidays series. So we are in 2022 Healthy for the Holidays series. Good morning, Christine. Glad you're here. We are in 2022. I have been doing this. Let's see, I started in 2020, almost just accidentally. I started to go live every day, helping support people through the holiday season when it comes to food, weight, body image, and all things health, because we know not only from data and research, but just from personal experience that the holidays can be a really, really stressful time for everybody. And especially for people in my world, in my circle, the people that I help, one of the ways that the folks that follow me deal with stress is with food, right? Food becomes a coping mechanism, and that can be problematic. So I started going live during the holiday season just to help support people with a number of different areas. And you all really loved it. So I did it again last year, and it was my most requested thing to do again this year. So here we are. Sorry that we are starting a little bit later than normal, but here's what it will look like, okay? I will go live around this time. It's a little wonky this week because we're in Thanksgiving week and I have my daughter and some other things, but let's call it, I will go live pretty much every day about 9 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, and 8 o'clock Pacific. Yes, I got it. So find your time zone, and I'll be going live around 9 o'clock Mountain Time just for 10 or 15 minutes to give you a tidbit each day, each weekday from now through the end of the new year, okay? Through the end of the year, into the new year, okay? And we'll be talking about a lot of various topics. We're going to be doing daily stillness. We're going to be doing the nervous system. We're going to be doing gratitude. There's a bunch of things on tap here. We'll cover a topic for about a week. Sometimes there'll be a worksheet attached. If you are in the Facebook group, you'll find all of the documents and everything under the hashtag HFTH 2022. Let's just say HFTH22, okay? And that way it'll categorize everything for you that you would need, okay? If you are not in Facebook, if you are on the Mighty Network watching this, you'll see it, same thing under the topic HFTH22. And if you're just watching these videos on YouTube, you might want to join either the Mighty Network group or the free Facebook group just to get the documents if you missed that, okay? So I'll go live here 10 or 15 minutes a day. I'm gonna really just get right into it today and talk about holiday weight gain. If you know me, if you've been with me for any period of time, you know that, yes, I am a licensed psychotherapist. I'm very classically trained in clinical psychology. I do a lot of energy psychology. Most of my work now is on the nervous system and nervous system dysregulation and helping to regulate the nervous system. But I am very classically trained in clinical psychology, which some people think means I'm not going to talk about weight loss and I'm not going to talk about weight and bodies and things like that. Because historically, therapists are trained to equate, the words weight loss and diet with, quote, eating disorders. If you've known me for any period of time, I am not a traditional therapist in that sense. In fact, all of my studies and experience in this field, which extends over 20 years, working on various scientific advisory boards, training hundreds of clinicians, running 2 different companies, and quite literally working with over 10,000 families who are struggling with weight and body image challenges and quote unquote obesity. I don't agree with the traditional rhetoric around weight and weight loss. It does not scare me to talk about weight loss. I think that it's important that we do talk about it. And one of the main reasons why is because you all care about it, right? There are millions and millions of people out there who are concerned about their weight, who worry about their weight, who struggle with their weight. And I am not going to tell you that, we need to just love our bodies as they are and that you shouldn't worry about your weight. Now, if you do know me, of course, I do want you to love your bodies, and I do want that to be a part of your experience. But I do not believe they are an either or experience, meaning I don't believe that it is necessary to say, forget about losing weight and just love your body the way it is. Nor do I believe that it is necessary to say the only way that you can love your body as it is to lose weight. Neither of those feel true for me. I honor where you are, wherever that is in your journey. Whatever body shape and size makes you feel like the most authentic and alive and empowered and embodied version of yourself, that's what I'm going for. Okay, so that's why we're going to talk about holiday weight gain today. Because here's what the research shows us. And this is actually, I think, pretty surprising for most people. I think most people assume that we gain a whole lot of weight over the holidays, and it's really problematic. Just to oversimplify it for you, what I will tell you is the truth is that what we actually do is we gain a little bit of weight over the holidays, but the problem is we never lose it, okay? And that weight becomes cumulative over years and years and decades and becomes problematic, okay? So here's the thing. And I'm going to talk about how this happens in here in a minute, but the big picture is we gain a few pounds over the holidays. Then we do the mad rush to the gym in January, which stops the holiday weight gain, okay? Which stops us from continuing to gain any more weight, which is good. But then we end up never losing it over the course of the year, and we start all over again at the end of the year. And you might say, okay, a couple, 2, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, no big deal, right? Depending on your, current height and weight, maybe no big deal. But you do that for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and you never get into this place of losing the couple of pounds that you've gained. And we have cumulative weight gain of many, 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 many pounds over time. And that's where it becomes problematic, because then, as you can imagine, at some point people wake up and say, wait a minute, I've got this extra 20 pounds, 30 pounds that I want to lose. And then it becomes challenging. Okay. I'm using that word very carefully. Challenging. It's not hard. It's not impossible. It's, if you stay with me for any length of time, I will hopefully simplify weight loss for you if that's what you want. But it does become challenging, right? It becomes more challenging to try and adjust the body to lose the weight than it is to maybe not gain it to begin with, okay? Now, today is not the day where I'm going to go into all of the ways, to lose weight or not gain weight and all that kind of stuff. I just want to talk about over the holidays, the big challenge, the big thing to be aware of is that we end up putting on a couple of pounds, fine, but then we end up never losing it. So the good news is, what the research also supports is that for people who go into the holidays with a mindset and then the subsequent tools, mindset, tools, and intention to not put on a couple of pounds over the holidays. In other words, we don't just throw caution to the wind and say, it's the holidays, I'll worry about it in January, right? For the people who have the mindset, the tools, and the intention to not gain weight over the holidays, it is absolutely possible. It is absolutely possible to maintain a pretty steady weight all the way through the holiday season and go into the new year however you'd like as far as your health and wellness goals are concerned, okay? Now, how do people do that? Well, one of the biggest pieces of information to remember when you are thinking about your weight and health and wellness is that your biology has no idea that it's the holidays, right? Your biology is your biology, whether it's Thanksgiving Day, whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Kwanzaa, whether it's Christmas, your biology doesn't change, okay? Our emotions change what our behaviors are, right? But our biologies don't change. And so when we look at it that way, we need to, or we have the opportunity, I should say, to become aware of what are our behaviors like throughout the holiday season and how do they change from, normal times of year. So some of you will ask me, well, how do we end up, if my behaviors don't change that much, how do I end up gaining some weight over the holidays? Well, for many parts of the world, depending on where you live, the holiday time coincides with, right, daylight savings. There's a little bit less daylight throughout our day. Many times the temperatures are colder. Then you increase the opportunities for sort of treats and things around that aren't usually there. The holiday seasons where you're actually having these days where you eat in ways that you don't normally eat. So you've got the colder temperatures, you've got the less daylight hours. Sorry, I should have said those lead to less movement, okay? When you have less daylight hours and you have the colder temperatures, those lead to less movement for people. So we have less energy going out, right, during the holiday season, as we start the holiday season. Then we've got an increase of energy coming in with families, get-togethers, work parties, treats at the office, every holiday, right? And not that much space in between, right? You've got more energy coming in, you've got less energy going out, and just that equation is enough to tip the balance in favor of an energy surplus, right? And we're in an energy surplus for, a few weeks to a month, and depending on how big your energy surplus, it's a recipe for gaining a few pounds. Now we take that energy surplus, and over the course of January, February, it's still dark, it's still cold, we're not moving as much, we might have pulled back on our energy input. But if the energy if the energy output, right, is still lower, then it provides a opportunity for us to not lose the weight, right? So the reason why I'm describing it in such sort of kind of technical terms or being so mechanistic about it is it's not so much that, everybody's gaining all this weight over the holidays. It's just the levers. We're pulling on the levers in a different way than we normally would. Our behaviors are just a little bit different than they normally are. And we justify them by saying, oh, it's the holiday season, I'll worry about it in January. I have to have my grandma's sugar cookies because she makes them every year. But then I also have to have the pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving because my sister-in-law made it from scratch. But then I also have this at the, in the office, and it's hard to walk by it and see it every day. And then, right? And what it ends up doing is changing our behaviors, pulling on the levers just enough to make our energy input out of balance. And now we're in an energy surplus, okay? So what I want to leave you with today, and again, as I mentioned, healthy for the holidays are just little tidbits here, okay? So, we're at 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and we're going to pick this up tomorrow on some of the things we can start to do differently. But your goal for the holiday season is to write an intention for how you would like to feel at the end of this holiday season. Now, that's, we're in Thanksgiving week, so we've got about 6 weeks till the end of the year, maybe 7 weeks till the end of the year. And I would like you to have a small goal for how would I like to feel at the end of this holiday season, okay? If you know me for any extended period of time, what I do is reverse engineer all of our processes, okay? And this is part of reverse engineering. We want you to look ahead. I want you to look at, let's call it the first week of January. How do you want to feel the first week of January, okay? Many people go through the holiday season reacting, right? I'm going to react, because I know that in January, I start over. I reset, I put the reset button, I start over, and I'm going to ask you, is that how you want to feel in January? Do you want to feel the need to start over and reset? Or would you like to feel something different? So your homework for today is to ask yourself, how do I want to feel in January? And that is going to be my guiding light, the thing that guides me through my thoughts, feelings, and behaviors through this holiday season. Okay, I'll explain more of that as we go along this week. All right, welcome to Healthy for the Holidays 2022. Tune in every weekday to hear little tidbits. This week, we're working on setting yourself up for a positive start to the new year. I will see all of you tomorrow.